Happy New Year, everyone. Right, I wanted to start the new year off with doing this video for you to help you to be healthier, fitter, stronger in 2022. Okay, so we're going to start by talking about your immune system, and then we're going to give you some tips and advice on things that you can do to optimize your immune system and make you aware of some things that you might be doing that might be inhibiting your immune system. Okay, so first we're going to start off with an understanding of inside and outside your body. I know it seems like, what? I know what's inside and what's outside, but for instance, like when something goes into your mouth, like food, keep your mind out the gutter. When something goes into your mouth, it's still on the outside of your body. It's only inside your body once it passes through the intestine wall. Okay, so once it's absorbed into your bloodstream, then it's inside your body. There's loads of things that you eat, like fiber, for instance, that goes through your digestive system and comes out. Okay, so there's lots of stuff, obviously, you go to the toilet, stuff comes out. So some stuff passes through your digestive system and doesn't actually enter into your body. Okay, does that make sense? Now that barrier from your skin, all the way on your skin, and then the inside of your mouth and the inside of your throat and the inside of your intestines, all of that is technically still the outside of your body. Okay, now all these areas, your armpits and your nose and your mouth and your ears and your bum and your genital area, all of that has a microbiome, a balance of bacteria. Okay, and the key with microbiome is diversity. When there's loads of diversity, think of a rainforest where there's loads of different species and plants and ecosystems. They all complement each other. Yeah, and then that's what creates a thriving atmosphere for life and health. Okay, does that make sense? So diversity is key. So what often happens is we destruct the microbiome, yeah, and it allows things to get through the barrier that shouldn't be able to get through. Okay, does that make sense? Very simple, right? So let's use, for instance, you've probably heard gut bacteria quite a lot, because there's a book that came out in recent years called 10% Human. It talks about how 10% of your body is actually human cells, 90% of your body is microbiome, is bacteria. It's a great book. I recommend you download that on Audible or get the physical book and give that a listen to. Very interesting. So your microbiome in your gut. So when that gets disturbed, or if it's lacking in diversity, that's what then it compromises the wall of your gut, and it basically just creates the perfect environment for disease, okay, and inflammation. So one of the reasons can be having, like, obviously the obvious things that that have a really kind of abrupt impact on your microbiome is a course of antibiotics or diarrhea. Yeah, if you're sick or you've got food poisoning, you've got diarrhea, it clears all the gut out. It then needs repopulating. That's actually what your appendix is supposed to be for as well. They used to think that appendix was just useless and you could just cut it out and throw it away. But it keeps a memory of the diversity of all the species of different microbiome in your gut. And then if you do have diarrhea or antibiotics, it then repopulates your gut microbiome with the missing varieties of bacteria. And then if you're eating the right diet, it will allow them to flourish. So there's an interesting fact for you. So the other things that might disturb it and destruct it is obviously if you're not having if you haven't got much diversity in your diet and loads of different types of fruits and vegetables and plant foods, that's what can, I think the dog just got shut out. He's all right, the door's open here. If you haven't got a lot of diversity in your diet, then obviously some of the bacteria is not going to be able to thrive and survive, because each different species of microbiome will rely on different kind of nutrients, and they'll have different preferences of the foods that you're eating. So you need to have a diverse range of loads of different foods, and obviously plant foods is one of the main things that they're going to thrive off, the good bacteria in your gut. Okay, so one of the things that will damage your microbiome is not having a lot of diversity in your diet. And there's another fact as well is, I say fact, I don't know if this is 100% accurate, but 60% of the pharmaceutical drugs that are used on factory farmed animals. Yeah, so animals that are raised under poor quality, poor conditions. Basically 99% of all the meat in the supermarkets, especially in the UK, are going to be factory farmed meats. So all of them animals, they're sick, diseased, they're growing too fast, They're kept under, poor conditions, so they're sick, disease, they have to be pumped through with loads of antibiotics and other sorts of drugs. So their tissue holds those antibiotics and those drugs. So when you consume that food, you're having them antibiotics, and that's actually destructing your microbiome in your gut. Okay, that's why it's really important to have better quality meats if you're not a vegetarian. Better quality meats are very important for a healthy microbiome. Okay, we're going to talk about a few other tips that you can do to increase the diversity of your, well, basically all it is to increase the diversity of your microbiome is to have higher quality foods, okay, higher quality foods, organic if possible, yeah, so if you've got a choice to have it sprayed with poisonous pesticides or not, it's probably best to go with not, as often as you can. You've got an ideal, but then sometimes it's not 100% realistic for you to do that, which is fine. You don't need to, burn yourself with cigarettes if you don't have something organic. It's okay, but try to lean towards having more organic stuff as often as you can. Okay, so higher quality meats. So go for wild animals, wild caught animals, and well looked after. Look up on Google. You'll find some farms and places that have a higher quality, higher standard of living for their animals, and grass-fed beef and stuff like that. Okay. So there's a couple of things you can do nutrition-wise. Other things that can disrupt your microbiome is even on your armpits, for instance. Your body's got 4 ways of getting rid of toxins, getting rid of shit out of your body. It's through your bowels, your kidneys, your lungs, and sweating, and your skin. Okay, perspiration, respiration, defecation, and urination. That's how your body gets rid of stuff. Okay, so if you're inhibiting your body to be able to get rid of stuff, so for instance, sweating. Antiperspirants, okay, I go on about this a lot to clients and stuff, well not a lot, but I mention it. Antiperspirants, if you spray antiperspirants, what that does is stops you from perspiring, it stops you from sweating, it stops you from getting rid of the stuff that needs to come out of your body. So it stays in there. And what them deodorants and aftershaves and all that sort of stuff does is it disrupts the microbiome. And that's when you can get rashes and you can get sorenesses and itchiness and stuff like that. So that stuff's not particularly good either. So I would recommend, the thing is, once you stop using all that stuff, you've been using a lot of perfumes and deodorants for a long period of time, and then you abruptly stop, what's going to happen? You're going to have a build-up of toxins there. So they're going to try, all that's going to try to come out, and then you're going to smell a little bit. Okay, and then what you're going to do is you're going to spray some more stuff on to close it all up again, which is a bad idea. You need to go through a period of time, usually a few weeks, maybe even a couple of months, where you kind of just maybe wash a bit more frequently, carry some wipes, make sure that they're not going to disrupt the microbiome, some natural wipes. And then another thing you can use as well is diluting essential oils. But they're another thing, even essential oils, 100% organic essential oils, they're very concentrated, so they can have an effect on your microbiome as well. Okay, so you need to experiment and find ones that are very, mild ones. I use sometimes a bit of peppermint. So sometimes, because I haven't used deodorant or antiperspirants for years, and honestly, it doesn't hardly ever smell. If I do smell, I just jump in the shower, have a little wash, and then I'll use some peppermint. I'll get a little essential peppermint, just a couple of little drops, rub it in my hands, and then wipe it all like this. Yeah. So that's a little tip that you can use to stop destructing the microbiome here. And you'll notice this as well, if you clean, even when you clean your genitals, I know I can't believe I'm taking this conversation here, but when you clean your genitals, if you use soaps and chemical riddled soaps and shampoos and stuff around there, that disrupts the microbiome. And then that can cause itchiness and soreness and rashes and even smells. And then what you tend to do is think, crap, now I need to use more of the soap to wash it, and you're just perpetuating the problem, okay? So I hope a lot of this is making sense to you, okay? But the main things that you can do through your nutrition to create loads of diversity with your food. Yeah, loads of different types of vegetables, different types of plant foods. Eat the rainbow. Eat from loads of different types of foods, mushrooms and cabbages and broccoli family, and create as much diversity as possible. A good tip is that every time you go food shopping, try to have at least one thing that you can't remember having in the last year. Okay, and that could be a herb or a spice or a fruit or a vegetable. Okay, diversity is key. One of the things that I do to help to increase some diversity, one, I get these little mushroom supplements, these little mushroom pills. They're mushroom complex. You can look them up on Amazon, called mushroom complex. I take them with just about every day, 2 or 3 tablets of them. It's got loads, it's got 8 different species of mushroom in them. And also I make a smoothie a lot of days, and I get, what do you call it? They're like, what are they called? Something greens, super greens or something like that. Organic super greens with loads of different types of greens in it. And I'll put that in a smoothie. So I'll make a smoothie, I'll put some protein powder in it, I'll put some of them super greens in it, and then I'll put some raw cacao chocolate powder, and I'll put some maca powder in it as well. And then a banana and an avocado. And that's what I've got this morning actually. Okay, and it's really nice, it tastes really good. So smoothies are a good idea as well, because you can create loads of different diversity, and you can put things that you typically wouldn't necessarily like having by themselves, so you can chuck it in there, you don't really taste it. Okay, so creating diversity, this is what creates a healthy immune system, which then is the foundation for you to have a healthy, healthy body overall. Okay, to give you the energy to go to the gym and stuff. So I hope that helps. And obviously another thing that's going to cause a destruct your gut as well is stress. When your immune system, the one thing about stress, now this should be common knowledge, and I think for a lot of people it is, and even if it's not knowledge, you kind of intuitively know it's true. Whenever you're stressed, whenever you're stressed and you're in fight or flight, you're angry, you're frustrated, if you're feeling any negative emotion in your body, what that does is that brings your immune system down. It shuts your immune system off, because I shouldn't say any negative emotion, because there is exceptions, but when you're feeling negative, as a general rule of thumb, if you're feeling any negative energy, frustration, stress, anger, fear, you know that anytime you're in that state, your immune system is not optimal. Okay, because what happens is your body puts all of its prioritizes energy to fight or flight, to fight things in your environment or run away from them. That's what your body's optimizing for, because your body doesn't know any difference between a thought and something happening in reality. So if you're thinking things that are making you stressed and frustrated and stuff like that, your body thinks that you are under threat, imminent threat, imminent physical threat. So it's going to optimize the resources in your body to fight or run away from that thing. And if you've got a virus that's replicating, or some other issues, or a fungal thing, or a bacteria, or whatever, it's not going to deal with that. It's not going to put its energy and focus on that, because it thinks that you're immediately under threat. If there was a tiger trying to eat you, why would your body spend any time on that? Because if you get eaten by the tiger, it's the tiger's problem. Okay, does that make sense? So your thoughts, your stress levels are so important for your overall health. And you often hear I don't think there's an illness or ailment or disease that doesn't have a correlation with stress. That stress is a component of. Okay, so stress, the more your stress increases, the more your all-cause mortality increases. So find ways to manage your stress levels. Exercise is one of the best things. Okay, it's one of the best things that you can do to de-stress and get the energy, the energy motion, the energy that's in your body that's trapped. You use the exercise to release it. Okay? Physically do some exercises. You're breathing, you're connected, you're with other people, you're in a different environment out of your normal day-to-day routine. Exercise, you can also look at some breath work. There's Wim Hof, you can Google, YouTube some Wim Hof stuff, Soma breath work. There's loads of stuff. I do some guided breath work stuff on Sundays typically. If you follow if you search me on Facebook or Instagram, Jason Bennett Official, follow me on there. Usually I put on my stories if I'm doing a group breathing session. You can join that as like an online thing, and you can do that at home, and I usually do it for free as well. So you can try some breathwork stuff to help to de-stress. Learn to manage your breathing is a very powerful way to manage your emotions and bring yourself, ground yourself. So breathwork, exercise, learn about meditation. A book that I would recommend to you to read is one called The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. That's a good one to start off with when it comes to mindfulness and meditation and grounding yourself. The power of now, being in the present and not projecting and, reminiscing. Okay, so yeah, I hope this video has helped. A few little tips for you to keep you and your family healthier, fitter, stronger in 2022, okay? Reach out to me if you need anything, if you've got any questions, drop them in the comments. And yeah, peace out. Love you. Bye-bye.